today we have a 2014 CLA250. We'll be servicing the transmission. Now the weird thing about this one, well, not too weird actually, well, weird for Mercedes. It has two transmission filters. One is like a like the conventional oil filter that we normally will use. The other one is the filter you would normally see inside of a transmission. So the one that's like a round external one is going to be directly below all this. Let's see if we get a view. It's kind of like right around there where that little yellow thing is, you see. So what we're going to have to do is remove all this. I'm just going to snap these off here, get this computer out to the side, and then remove the air box. Take this off here too, get this out the way. Basically clear everything up here and so we can expose the transmission with the filter right there. All right, so pretty much there's no really any bolts or anything holding the airbox cleaner down. You're just gonna have to take off a little tab here to get this part off. You can take it all out together. And then obviously, you know, the flathead or number 7 for the clamp here to get that off. And then the Mercedes, you saw me with the computer, take it off here and just pull it up. And then we just literally pull it all up. It sits in these grommets here and exposes the transmission as well as the filter here. Went ahead and put a line. They didn't really provide a torque for this, so I'm just going to put that back exactly where it goes. And this is the number 19. Now, before I actually open this, because since this kind of is my first time doing this, I don't know if fluid's going to be just coming out of here. So I'm going to drain the fluid first and then come back and open this. This does kind of get in the way of one of the bolts that's directly under here. So I'm going to lift it up. We're going to need a 14mm Allen to get to the drain plug for the transmission. And we're going to go ahead and drain it. But at the same time draining it, I'm going to measure it, so I know exactly how much to put back in. A lot of people would just estimate how much to put in, and we ain't doing that here. So we're gonna go ahead and just lift the vehicle up and we'll get to the next step. All right guys, so we're under the vehicle here. You'll see the pan here. This is where the filter will be as well. Here is the drain. It's a 14mm. So we're gonna put this on here and we're gonna drain this out and we're gonna also measure it so we can put the exact same amount in. So let's go ahead and let it drain and we'll measure this out. Now that I've got the drain plug removed, I'm going to let that drain out for a bit. We are going to replace it. So it does come with a new drain plug and washer. So once it's done draining, I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. The torque is 30 Nm, which I believe that's around 22 foot-pounds possibly, something like that. Let me see real quick. Let me get y'all a good number here. Yep, 22 foot-pounds. So, yep, once I finish the drain, I'm reinstall this new drain plug and tighten it down to that torque. So after that, we'll open up the oil filter cover as well as the transmission. All right, so my drain plug is installed with the new crush washer drain plug, 30 Nm, 22 foot-pounds. We're gonna start removing the transmission pan here. They're T30s all the way around. But we'll go up top. I'll go ahead and start removing from down here and then go up top and remove the oil filter cover and the other bolts up top, and then we can get this off. Now, I went ahead and measured how much fluid came out, and it's about 4.5 liters, a little less than 5 quarts. Now, the system or the Mercedes sheet says that this system takes about 5 liters, so obviously there's going to be about half a liter on my transmission pan still, or inside the filter itself. So that being said, this tells you that this vehicle takes about 5 quarts, 5 1/4 or 5.5 quarts. Some people have been putting 6 quarts in, which is overfilling it. Some say it's not going to cause problems, but who knows? It might. Stick to what you got. Stick to the specs what Mercedes says. Don't just do what you say you feel like doing on these vehicles, especially these temperamental ones here. Especially since if you don't buy that $200 dipstick to check the transmission. So just keep in mind, measure how much you get out, and then try to see how much you get out when you remove the pan, and just kind of work with it there, not just estimate what you think is actually going to go in there. So let's get this pan off and we'll get to the next step. So now we're back on top here. Before I did get up here though, I removed a total of 5 T30 screws at the bottom, 2 on the side and 3 at the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove this of a 19. And I believe there's 3 more just on top here that's holding it, and we should be able to pop it out. I also have a pan at the bottom to catch my fluid and to see what else fluid's going to be lost. Obviously, when I talk about measuring it, this transmission has no leaks. Therefore, there should be no fluid loss here. So therefore, I should be able to put the exact same amount I took out. Or I should be able to measure how much actually belongs in here and put back exactly how much I took out back in. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this of 19 and then get these last T30s out the way and move this pan out the way. All right guys, so I pretty much have my bolts removed. I just have one here just to hold it in place, as you can see. I'm gonna take it off in just a second. I don't want it to fall into my pan, or my my oil pan at the bottom where I have everything collecting. So just want to give you all the view of everything here. This is the bowl speaking of, that's directly below here. There's the filter does not come out with the cover like on oil filters, so just keep that in mind. Just comes out, you'll get a little bit of fluid that comes out too. So I will have to clean all this up, but all right, let me take this bolt out and kind of set it down slowly. I don't want anything to happen to this pan, and then we'll lift it back up and get to the bottom. So I'm back here on the bottom. Pretty much now we're just gonna slide the pan forward towards the front of the vehicle and then just bring it down. Then we'll expose the filter that's right here. Okay guys, so I have my pan removed here. As you can see, 3 at the bottom, 2 on the side, 3 at the top. I did forget to mention that I have to remove the air trunk there to the throttle body side. I did leave it on the intercooler side, just kind of so I could push it back and get room to move the transmission pan back. So now we're gonna get the filter here off, which is not the same, but closer to what we're accustomed to for Mercedes transmissions. So for these, you just kind of work them out, pull them backwards towards the front. So like so, just gonna be stuck on those O-rings, obviously. And there we are. And then also be very careful working on this here. You do not want any debris or anything inside this transmission. So I'm gonna let that sit there and drain out a little bit, and I'll probably be able to get my entire 5 liters that Mercedes mentions that needs to be filled when you service these. So while I'm doing so, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the transmission pan and get ready to put the new filter in once I'm done cleaning the transmission pan. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have my pan here all nice and clean. I'm probably gonna end up blowing it out again before I install it. They do not want any debris, anything inside this pan, so just keep that in mind and make sure everything's clean. I have my new transmission pan gasket here. As you can see, there's this little rubber hole, like studs or whatever, rubber grommets. They actually go and line up on these holes here, so just kind of set it. It only goes one way. Just set it in. It's designed to hold it so that when we put the pan back on, it stays in place. No need to put any shellac or silicone on this, like so. And then my kit also comes with new bolts. I believe these are aluminum, so it's always nice to replace these when we're doing so. Now this kit list price is $368, as you can see from there. That's the part number there, VC V302257BK. Pretty much comes with everything: a new the filter, the other filter, a new drain plug with the washer, even a little tab that goes onto the dipstick cover, as well as these bolts here. So it's pretty good for the price you get. I mean, obviously I didn't pay that super high price because wholesale, but for the most part, that's what you're looking around on the part. So let me go ahead and show y'all the filter. So filter there, be sure the O-rings come out with it. You don't want to double stack those in there. And I already went ahead and installed it in there. Just literally slide it in there and then pop it in. Make sure those are actually all the way in. You'll hear a little pop, not a real pop, but you'll know. So we'll go ahead and slide the pan in and guide our bolts in to get ready to torque this down. All right guys, so I pretty much have my bolts kind of set into place here. We're gonna go ahead and start torquing it. Now there isn't a torque sequence, however, I like to keep it even. So I'm gonna start in the middle. I guess I'll show you the old gasket. So I'm gonna start in the middle, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's pretty much how I'm gonna torque it. It's 8 Newton meters or 6 foot-pounds. So pretty much you can do it a snug fit, depending on if you all know how to control your strength with, you know, the ratchet. I know when I first started, I used to bust bolts all the time. So just an FYI, it's a very small torque. So let's go ahead and torque this down. We'll be almost done. Okay guys, so I have all 8 of those bolts torqued down to 6 foot-pounds or 8 Newton meters. Went ahead and just slid my new filter in, and literally just pops right in like so. Went ahead and changed this gasket here as well for the cover. Just an FYI, this is like a thermostat gasket where it has like a groove in the center that needs to go around the lip and the bottom there. So just keep that in mind going in. So now we're gonna go and just place this back in here, like so, making sure it's twisted in evenly, no cross threading. And so there, I actually did find the torque for this. Oh wow, it's gonna make me look like an idiot now, huh? Anyways, so I did find the torque for this, and it's 25 Newton meters or 18.5 foot-pounds, just like an oil filter housing cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque that down. Let's see if it actually lines back up to that point I have there. And I guess I'm gonna need both my hands to get this in together, so I'll get y'all in the next one. All right, guys, so I pretty much torqued that down and went right exactly to that line that I made. So now I'm just gonna clean all this up and fill her up with I got 5 liters, which is how much Mercedes says to fill in, so which is only 5.23 quarts. So a lot of y'all are paying way too much in. Which is going to be using the liquid moly dual clutch gear oil, the 8100. So we're going to fill it right into the dipstick tube here. Now, I had trouble with this one. The little lock literally broke right off right when I was trying to pull it out. You have to pull that out before you can actually disengage this little tab here, right there. So this blocks that tab from going back. That locks on the side here. So when you pull it out, you have to push it from there. Luckily, our kit comes with the replacement. It's a great kit. I recommend it. So now I'm just going to fill her up and clear the adaptation values, clean all this up, and we'll be pretty much done. So thanks for watching, you guys. Do like and subscribe. More videos to come.